Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man.
I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
And we are live. Don't need to do the ESPN Asheville stuff yet because we're not on ESPN Asheville. I started to launch into it, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't need to do the call letters. We're not
don't
there.
need to do that. You know what you do need to do?
What's that?
Stop leaning into your microphone. That's what makes it like herding cats to get you.
That? I can't.
See, the way cameras work is that they sit in one spot, which means you need to also sit in one spot.
Welcome into the program.
And today we have, it's even more important that you sit in your spot because we have a completely different overlay so that you can see the draft board.
We got tiny little windows.
Well, I mean, we do have tiny little windows.
Okay.
Now you moved again, so now I got to get you back into the window.
I'm trying to match myself up here with the thing, and it's not.
But there's two windows. Don't look at the. Okay, you don't look at the screen. You let me look at the screen, and I will tell you where to go.
That's not how this works. We can't do this way. I am not just some puppet. There are no strings on me. That's why I won the governorship of Minnesota. It is mock draft day, fan mock draft day. Welcome to everybody who's joining us here in the Ingalls studio.
Somebody in the chat has already asked, how do we get into the Discord? Well, you would, in theory, use that link that I meant to put into the chat, and I didn't.
Oh, that one?
And I didn't.
Is that the one I need to use? Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
And I did not.
Yes, listener mock draft. Get in and claim your teams. We are going to go live right at noon. There's no way to stop that.
No, we're going live at 12:10.
Oh, good.
We gave 10 minutes of grab ass time, and yes, since we're not on ESPN, I can say grab ass time just to make sure we all got in.
Yes.
Which is also why we're doing a pre-show to make sure that everybody gets the chance to get in.
NFL draft right around the corner. We'll have all of the spiciest things to talk about. I'm shocked that nobody has taken the Chicago Bears.
William Workman did.
Oh, did it? Good. Good.
Workman said, "Are there any teams available?" And Tank and I looked at the board and went, "How the hell is a team with 2 picks in the top 10 not taken yet?" We put that in the chat, and he went, "Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that."
That is the way to go. I think the Cleveland Browns are one of the only other teams that has not been claimed.
And Satisfied Browns fan, as the great team player that he is, has already offered if somebody wants to draft for the Browns, they can use his account on Walk the Mock. Let me go ahead and apologize for that. I spent 3 hours last night looking for somewhere that we could do this that was free. It just doesn't exist. And I guess
it's only $5. Get your money's worth while you got it.
Totally. And we're going to give you I can't give you the beer mug next to your name because YouTube is kind of a twat about that. But if you spent the doll hairs to get into Walk the Mock, we will include you in the Discord, which we're getting ready to throw in the chat right now.
Nice.
If I can figure out how to get my phone to do that. Oh, I did. Where'd it go? Oh, what is happening right now? I said it didn't appear.
We will be addressing all of your draft questions, by the way, as the live stream pregame show, pre-mock draft show wages on here. Kynan Larson?
I have no idea if he said that right. Please tell us if we butchered your name.
Has
we don't
a
want to butcher anybody's name.
Bolts question, assuming the trade with Minnesota, so they get 11 and 23. What would your picks be for the Los Angeles Chargers?
Oh, if the Chargers got to 11 and 23, I would take Ola Fashanu at 11. If Fashanu just happened to not be there, I'd take Talisi Fuaga. And then at 23,
A.D. Mitchell.
Well, and now that's assuming that Rome Odunze's not there on the board at 11. If Odunze's on the board, then, okay.
I don't know how he could be.
Oh, no, there's a great chance he will be.
Really?
It looks like the Bears are going to go edge rusher at 9.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we'll see if that's how they go in our listener mock today, but everything I've heard, it does appear that will be an edge rusher. I keep
But he
hearing
wouldn't
Jared
get past
versus
the
name.
Jets. Surely the Jets at 10.
I don't know. And if it's Brock Bowers, Roma Dunze, I don't know what they would do. I know what I would do. I would sit back and go, "Don't make me choose between the children." That's what I would do.
He would immediately be going, "Hey, can we figure out how to pull one of those, Houston Texan moves where we get the 12th pick as well? Can I have these back-to-back picks here so I can have a both?"
Can we do that draft day thing where we
We just make shit up as we go along.
we just make shit up, and somehow we wind up with both picks back-to-back, and I get the both. And then I show my wiener on camera in Radio Row at the 2024 NFL Draft.
Please don't. We'll never.
You
be
planning on wearing a
invited back.
suit to that, by the way?
Am I supposed to?
You should.
But I don't.
I ordered a hat. I had it specially made.
You did not.
Oh, 100% I did. It has a cougar feather in it. Or I don't know what kind of animal that is. It kind of looks like a cougar. It's going to be sweet.
It makes my head hurt.
You'll be the guy in Detroit that goes, that's my radio partner.
That's my guy.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Willy Wonka if Willy Wonka really liked Spam.
One day he looked me in the face and he said, "I'm going to take you with me, kicking and screaming." And this is the kicking and screaming part.
Correct.
This is the kicking and screaming part. So the second pick there for the Chargers.
Oh, if it was a Dunze 11, then I would probably go like Tyler Guyton or Amarius Mims, somebody like that with the second pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd like to get a corner. And that's a route you could go to. You could take Quinyon Mitchell at 11, take the best receiver on the board when you get down to 23.
Right.
Which could be Brian Thomas or A.D. Mitchell, like you said, Keon Coleman.
I just have this feeling that it's going to be an offensive lineman. Like, they will get an offensive lineman somehow, some way.
It could. I mean, if you're going to do that, I feel like you should just sit at 5 and take Joe Alt. But apparently not everybody's as intrigued by Mr. Alt as I am.
Well, it's the question of, is it worth it? Is having Joe Alt worth giving up that extra starter that I could get at the end of the first round? So if I wanted to go with the lesser tackle, right? So I don't get Alt, but I end up getting Fashanu at 11.
You might get Fashanu at 23. Every time I talk to somebody about him, he's falling further.
He just keeps going down the list.
That dude must be showing his goober to all kinds of people. Because, I mean, he must just walk into meetings like, look at it! That's the only thing he can be doing that's pushing him this far down. Because I watch the tape and go, how do you not see it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't.
You also said the same thing about Trevor Penning, though, and
yeah,
just, I
don't know.
That hadn't worked out well.
I don't know if Trevor Penning is the guy that I would use as a, hey, here's why you ought not do that, because he hasn't been good at football.
That's what I'm saying. So you may be wrong about this.
I could
about
be.
This one.
Look, there is no absolute way to know when lying season is happening.
Yeah. I believe that if I were the Chargers, I would go with the offensive lineman.
I'd go with Joe Alt at 5 and be done with it.
Yeah. But
I like the idea of trading down, but I also don't like the idea of not having Joe Alt.
Yeah. But if I am trading down, I'm going with the best offensive lineman on the board, and then I'm going receiver with that next one. I have to have a receiver.
I mean, you would think so. I feel like there's a lot of teams that they really need a receiver. Okay, I finally got the Discord link into the chat. I've sent it 3 times from my personal YouTube account. Mm-hmm. And apparently YouTube doesn't want me to have a voice because I have been shadow banned.
Are they throttling you?
I guess. I've been full on shadow banned. I can't say jack squat. I'm not allowed. And that does not make me happy.
So Discord server, here we go.
Matthew Hoffman asked, so the draft still doesn't start for an hour. The draft starts in 58 minutes and 23 seconds.
Yes.
As of right now.
Yes. So in an hour.
We wanted to make sure everybody could get in. We wanted to make sure every team was filled. We have certain guys like Stephen Tao who, like, he really wants to be in it. He sent me a list. I would need somebody that could push the buttons. Because, okay, I saw somebody else do this, and I went, their way was stupid. And now I slightly understand their way better. Because there were more moving parts here than I knew about.
Mm-hmm. I hate technology. I just hate it.
Hey, well, here's how stupid I am. All right, so Kurt, who is in our YouTube chat, he's a Dolphins fan. Kurt 2512. I saw King Kurt 72 take the Los Angeles Chargers, and I got a little angina because Curtis Davis was supposed to take the Chargers, and I saw that and I went, no, Kurt got the wrong team. Because I am too stupid to understand that if you trunicate Curtis, it also turns into Kurt. And there is more than one person on this planet named Kurt.
Just a few.
Because that is how stupid I actually am. Like, if you take me away from football and you give me things that are actually, I don't know, things to keep you alive, I am indeed that stupid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This Discord link that you sent, is
yes.
that just into our regular chat?
And then there's a room that says listener draft or listener mock or something like that.
There it is. Okay, thank you.
You can talk trade in that. I don't know if there's a chat server. I have never done this with other people. I have been told that there is, but when I tried to do it earlier, it didn't work. So I wanted to make sure we had all our bases covered. If you want to make a trade, you have the ability to make a trade. And I felt like that was a nice, hey, thank you for joining our listener draft, and I feel bad that you had to pay $5 US to do so.
Yes. So,
in spite of what some people may think, we are not actually just complete sluts for money. Mm-hmm. We're sluts for charity.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're also kind of slutty for money.
Yeah, but we don't want them to have to pay. We want. That's
true.
We want the people that make this happen to
have to pay.
They pay. Well, they don't have to pay. They could
pay.
tell us. They could tell us to go, falafel ourselves.
They pay with maize,
and that would be a great time to say, Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. My kid does that now.
That's awesome.
I have a 16-year-old kid, and every time Ingles comes up, she goes, low prices, love the savings.
So good.
It makes me laugh.
So good. NFL draft.
Mike Baker had a question that
Oh, did he? Let's see.
We actually have two right there back to back. Sir Jimothy asked, is there a way to link this draft with next year's so you keep trades up and up for different picks? Yes, we can indeed do that. Walk the Mock's cool. Its website sucks, but it's just because things aren't connected.
But the machinations of it
are the
good.
Things you can do are super sweet.
Interesting. Who did you say that was from? Mike Baker?
That was from Sir Jimothy. Mike Baker asked, Chiefs need a left tackle, so who could they realistically trade up for in the first round? If they don't go left tackle, then I could see Brett Veach trade up with Arizona for receiver and completely stick it to the Bills again. Well, it's funny you said that because today the Buffalo Bills are controlled by I, Captain Yellow Shirt. I have the Buffalo Bills. And I can tell you in this one, I'm not going to say I wouldn't trade up. I'm just going to say you'd have to really want to trade down because I need a lot of shit.
So you're not interested in trading up?
Didn't say I wasn't interested. I'm interested in everything. Okay, we're talking. we're open to all calls. In the Discord link, feel free to tag me at Greene ESPN, and we can discuss trade with Buffalo's selections.
Is there a team like like San Francisco a couple of years ago that has like 8 7th-round draft picks that they could send to Jeremy for like a 3rd rounder or something? Because he loves the deep divey picks.
Oh, no doubt. We're only going 3 rounds. So 7th-round picks don't do me much. But if you have like 4 3rd-rounders and you want to talk, we can do that because I like the 3rd round in this draft a lot.
We're just gonna completely screw the process on this whole thing.
But now, as to what Mike Baker asked,
the left tackle,
I would say it's more likely they sit there. Kansas City has a weird ability to make players work that everybody else has reservations about. A lot of teams had reservations about Creed Humphrey. I didn't really ever understand why, but they did. A lot of teams had reservations about Trey Smith.
Didn't Creed have a knee issue?
There were some people that thought Creed wasn't going to be able to play center. They didn't necessarily know how long he was going to play, and they weren't as sold on the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there were a lot of people that thought it was absolutely a joke that Kansas City took him, period. As high as they did. I think he was a third-rounder.
Yes.
I remember that pick coming down, and I looked at you and went, I'll bet you he's going to be real good.
Mm-hmm. You liked him in the process.
You're damn right I did, and I still do. But I would say it's more likely that Kansas City sits in place.
Mm-hmm.
I know you think I'm way too high on this guy. Watch Jordan Morgan with Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
That's a name I keep hearing in the latter part of the first round, and Kansas City's the team that makes the most sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're too high on him.
I love him.
I don't know enough about him to not like him, if that makes any sense. I am very high on your boy Jared Verse, though. And I keep thinking, what is it about him that doesn't make him the number one pass rusher in this class? Or is it more that Dallas Turner is just that much better?
Dallas Turner went to the combine and ran a ridiculously fast time.
But Jared did too, didn't he? I mean, not as fast.
Not as fast. Dallas Turner's the Maserati. It's really fun to look at a Maserati. The only problem is that when you go to get an oil change, you understand why a Maserati is so fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at with him. I'll go ahead and tell you, if I was taking a pass rusher, it would be Jared Verse, and I would take him in the top 10, and I would have no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember how high I was on Jermaine Johnson? Do you see why I was so high on Jermaine Johnson?
Yes.
Because to me, it ain't that hard to figure out. God, he's going to be a dog on the opposite side of Hassan Reddick, and it makes me so happy.
And here's the thing. The only reason that I mentioned that name, the only reason I went down that path was because I'm still seeing a lot of mock drafts, staring at one right here, that has him going in the top of the second round. And that's ridiculous.
Jared Verse? Jared Verse will not last that long. Jared Verse is going to be the guy that, and it may go the same way as Jermaine Johnson, that we get closer to the process, teams start talking about how much they like him, but then nobody's willing to pull the trigger on it. The other thing you got to remember is look at how many teams pick in the teens that run 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
I want Jared Verse's hand in the dirt the same way I wanted Jermaine Johnson's. This is not helmet scouting. This is the kind of guy Florida State recruits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's great to me that you're mobile enough to stand up, and Jermaine Johnson does sometimes. He's listed as a linebacker. He also keeps his hand in the dirt about 95% of the time. So I view them as very similar players.
Mm-hmm. How shocked would you be to see them go back-to-back?
Verse Turner?
Yeah, 8 and 9.
Not at all.
I'm not either.
It wouldn't shock me at all.
Look, I'm not the insider. I don't keep up with Waddle and Sylvie from our trip to the to the combine. But the things that I have read and the comments that I have read about the meeting that they're going to have in the Chicago front office to decide what is going to happen with this pick, they're having like the mock trial or whatever to decide what position group is going. And just the little hints that I have picked up through my readings of what's going on with them, they are wild about him. Jared Verse has caught somebody's eye in that front office. His name comes up way too many times. And I think I think that's the position that will win that battle.
I'm not dead sold on that. I think there's a great chance that you're right, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. The Bears to me are so interesting. That's why I couldn't believe it took so long for somebody to take them. And William Workman took them. Speaking of which, we've got about half the teams are filled. Everybody that said they were taking a team, the link to Walk the Mock it's pinned at the top of the YouTube chat. The Discord link is in the chat. We can talk trade in the Discord chat. That is our House of Reprehensibles Discord chat, so we talk about sports in there anyway. And there is a little room that says Listener Mock, which is where we can discuss the things.
Mm-hmm. We are
And Evan Doyle asked, you got to pay the $5. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. Yeah. I tried. Tank will tell you, I came in just bitching to high holy hell that there was no place that you could do this for free, which sucks. And I'm sorry for that, but this is the cheapest one of the lot.
Mainly because he knows there was one person in particular that was going to bitch about it.
Who? You.
Me.
You didn't bitch about it.
I didn't. I
offered to pay for yours, and you didn't bitch about it.
No, because I had
already done it.
I had already done it. I'm living in the lap of luxury now. I feel a little more freer in my life to do things because I have an emergency fund now.
You have an emergency fund?
I do.
Holy shit!
You know what it's called?
DraftKings.
DraftKings Sportsbook. The DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Yeah, it's funny you said that.
I'm not going crazy with it, obviously, but like I'm keeping it to where there's like at least $50 in there, and I'm using it as my emergency fund because I live that life where it's coming down to paydays tomorrow, and I think I got $1.78 in the bank account, so I'm gonna maybe need a little help. So if I can keep about $50 in that DraftKings account, because the payouts, as we've been telling you, are fast and easy and right at your fingertips, and I'm not kidding you. I sent the damn thing. The first time I went, I need some money, I submitted it. It was in my bank account before I got the confirmation email. That's how quick this thing was. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic app. Everyone should download it.
We have an interesting thing that's happened, and it's easier for me to say this than just to type it. Jack S. and Bob Brown, they both have Walk the Mock accounts. So I'm going to ask if Jack S. can draft the Ravens for Stephen Towle. Towle sent me his list. I can tell you what he's after. I can actually send it to you if you want me to. But he is away. Stephen Towle is one of the OGs of the show, so we wanted to make sure his name got said, and that would be a great help if you can. If you can't, we'll find somebody else to do it. But I know they both have Walk the Mock accounts now. So
okay. All right. Would you like for me to finish the live read that I was doing, or would you?
Are we doing a live read on YouTube?
I mean, why not? I've already jumped into it, and I feel like if I've talked about it that much, then I can't not just give the client what they need because they're fantastic partners. 100%. And right now, it's live in the state of North Carolina. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR. Bet your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in the Tar Heel State with DraftKings. And for a limited time, new customers who sign up with the promo code WPEK and bet $5 will receive $200 instantly in bonus bets. Again, that's $200 instantly in bonus bets. They have all the best features. I'm becoming the parlay guy. Like I like playing parlays, and I'm hitting at least one a night, so it's keeping me level, keeping me winning. Keeping me watching, honestly, keeping me watching baseball, and I'm all about it. It gives me more of a reason to watch one of my favorite sports. So, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using the code WPEK and bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code WPEK. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license, Jeremy Greene.
Indeed. Yeah, last night I was talking to Adam Gold, who precedes us, or succeeds us?
Succeeds.
There we go. Follows us on ESPN Radio. He's in Phoenix for the Final Four, and we were talking about betting and things like that, because he was talking about player props and different things. And we just started, chopping it up about betting, and he was telling me about parlays that he's wagered and things like that. I am not much of a parlay guy.
Is he going crazy with them?
No. Look, I love Adam. I think he is one of the nicest guys in this business. Philosophically, we don't agree on everything, but he's one of the few that I can disagree with Adam on his show, and literally he'll send me a text 3 seconds after we get off the air and go, "That was great."
Yeah, thank you.
And I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you. It's what makes a great host.
No doubt.
Someone who wants to be challenged, someone who wants the excitement.
Yes, and that's because there are a lot of people in this business that if you disagree with them on their show, it becomes like the undoing.
They will never have you on their show again.
7 names didn't just instantaneously come into my head.
Right. You get to you push back a little too much with some hosts, and yeah, they get in their feels about that. But I am the parlay guy because I don't wager a lot, and so I want some payout. So I'm bundling. I'm doing the bundle thing.
I believe I'm bundling. Is it bundling the savings?
I'm even betting women's basketball tonight. So
I did too. I've actually bet a lot of women's basketball.
Did you take the favorites?
I took UConn. that was my sweeping declaration of, hey, why do we not talk about her nearly as much as we talk about Caitlin Clark? Because she's better, and it's not really all that close.
I think she's a better all-around player.
100%.
Not a better shooter, though.
Okay. Let's see. How do I say this delicately? Michael Jordan is not as good a shooter as Klay Thompson. I would much rather have Michael than Klay.
No doubt. No doubt.
Caitlin Clark is the female version of how I played, which is, I'm over half court. Ball. Let's go.
I was wanting you to put a name. I was wanting you to put a name on that, but you didn't, so I'll do it. James Harden.
You're not wrong.
Right. That's what I see when I see her play. I see James Harden.
That's look, James Harden and I have very similar beards. We had very similar games, too.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm at the 3-point line. Ball.
Card carrying captain. The team gets
right
on.
Right here. Ball. Hit me right there. Never seen a 3-pointer I didn't like.
Yeah.
And Creed Humphrey was a second rounder, by the way.
I will say this. I think it's awesome that you can even get me interested.
No doubt.
In the women's Final Four now.
No doubt. It works out.
Works out wonderful.
It works out beautifully.
Yep. So NFL draft.
We got a question in the YouTube chat from Jason Griffin. It's
Okay.
a new name. I don't think I've ever seen before.
Welcome in, Jason.
He asked options for the Panthers picks. Carolina, I think, killed the offseason to the point of I don't have to draft a position. Now, I do think they need a pass rusher.
What do you mean killed the offseason?
You don't have that, oh my God, what are we going to do at blank? If they didn't add an offensive lineman with one of those 2 second-round picks, nobody's going to lose their mind. Now, I would like you to add a left tackle so you can put Ikem Kwanu where he belongs at guard. But it's, I've been beating that drum for a long time. I would love a tight end. The problem is that there's not one. Please, God, don't fall for Ben Sinnott either. Just, okay, which I'm going to tell you, there's like 7 landmines in this 3-round draft.
Yep.
I'm not going to make fun of you if you draft them. I may audibly roll my eyes on screen. And it's hard for you to hear me roll my eyes. Ben Sinnott is one of those guys that I had somebody tell me a few days ago that they now have Ben Sinnott as the number 2 tight end in this class, and I went, were you stupid? Are you stupid? Because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why?
If you want to have him at 3, that's fine. But if you're telling me you would take him over Jatavian Sanders, I'm going to need you to explain that to me like I'm 4.
What's the argument for him, for Sinnott?
I don't know. I don't speak crayon, and that was what I heard with the argument. And so I don't know.
Was it just all lies that he's just as athletic as Sanders? Or?
I don't know. All I saw was a stick figure dog with a really big head.
Yeah, he was just seeing
and a
red.
sunshine and mommy and daddy holding hands.
He was just seeing red at that moment and was like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah,
okay. I was just curious.
I didn't listen to much beyond that.
Right. I didn't know if this was a receiving tight end versus a blocking tight end argument. One's more complete than the other. Just curious.
Okay.
But with the Panthers pick at the top of that second round,
BPA,
best player available. Okay.
Because there's going to be a receiver there. Question is who it is. I think Keon Coleman's the one that I just keep staring at, going, "You're all doing this wrong." Because if you're telling me you take A.D. Mitchell over him, I'm just telling you you're not right. It's not going to tell you you're wrong. I will tell you you're not right. Because Keon Coleman's a better player.
Troy Franklin.
There's been a lot of knock on him.
Why?
I don't know.
I really like him.
I do too. Somebody told me
the only times I really watched Oregon football this year were the 2 games against Washington. And I know that the other guys for Washington were talented, but Troy Franklin was the one that stuck out to me in those games.
Be careful with that being the reason that you like him.
Because Washington's secondary sucks.
Secondary player. No, Muhammad, the best corner that Washington had, he a little feller.
Yeah.
Troy Franklin, not a little feller.
No, he's not.
Be careful with that. Mm-hmm. Now, liking Troy Franklin, I have no problem with.
Right.
If you're doing it off those 2 games, all I will say is you should probably watch a few more.
He's not that damn good? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not that. I feel like if you're going just off of those 2 games, it gives you kind of an unhealthy expectation of what Troy Franklin is.
Okay.
My caveat of that would be that he had one huge game against Washington and he had one shitty game against Washington. So I feel like that skews you. Utah. Watch the Utah tape and tell me how you feel after you watch that.
Okay.
Because that was a good game. He scored, had 99 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and watch that tape, and then report back to me with your findings.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would say.
Let me write that down. I'll forget.
Yes.
I need to watch Troy Franklin
against Utah.
And
if you need me to send you the tape, I will.
That would be helpful.
It's categorized somewhere on this computer, but
that would be quite helpful.
Well, I don't do a great job of going Troy Franklin, Utah. I do a much more likely job of Utah, Oregon. You figure it the fuck out, that's usually how tape goes for me. I spend a lot of time with my iPad going there. Mm-hmm. Nope, wrong drive.
Yep. I think I would be sold on a wide receiver there at the top of the 2nd round, but as Jeremy said, best player available. If there's one that's obvious that, oh my God, if we're doing that thing where it's like, why hasn't he gone yet? Then that's what the Panthers need to do.
Yes. And I don't really care what position it is.
No.
There is no position they're so set that I would go, oh, that's a hat on a hat. Because they don't have a lot of guys signed for a really long time. Mm-hmm. So the roster is going to be very malleable.
I was trying to find one.
A position?
Yeah, to see if there was one that would.
There's not one.
Yeah. Running back.
Don't draft a running back.
Don't draft the best running back available.
If you take a running back in the first 2 rounds of this draft, you did it.
Don't do that, and don't take a quarterback. Those are the only 2 rules. Carolina, everything else is on the board.
Okay, so I want to catch up on some things in the chat.
Yes.
Jonathan Welch asked, can we do trades in this mock? Yes, we can. Make sure you're in the Discord server. They're talking trade right now. I've got it on my phone, and it's bouncing. It's just bouncing around, doing stuff. So we got trades being discussed.
Okay.
I will use that as a parlay into what Bill G asked. Are we going to be able to hear you negotiate with other teams? You will be able to hear me do that. Anybody that wants to, in the chat, discuss what they're talking about, they're free to. I'm not gonna dictate the chat, but I will be able to tell you my thinking, and I am the Buffalo Bills, which follows into a question that was asked by, I think it's Kebby, if not, it's Kibi, who asked, sorry I'm late, my question is, do you think the Bills move up and draft a wide receiver? If so, who? I'm controlling the Bills in this listener mock. I will go ahead and tell you I am not doing that. There is a much better chance that I start talking to a team that wants a quarterback and I try to trade back, because I think the meaty clackers of this is from 25 to 75, and I want an extra pick in there. So, any of you that have teams, if my pick comes around and you're somebody you want, we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it's going to cost you.
Let's see here.
Now, if somebody fell, like if Roma Dunze made it to 14 and none of the linemen, like say somehow Byron Murphy was gone and all the linemen were gone, I'd call New Orleans to go get Roma Dunze.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about the only way somebody would have to fall. I'm not trading. I'm not paying the premium to get into the top 10.
Yep. William Workman says Troy Franklin's the top 10 wide receiver in this draft.
I agree.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure. For 100% sure.
Okay.
Somebody asked who had the Commanders. As of right now, nobody has the Commanders. The teams we have open, And just to be clear, I know some of these are taken. I need somebody to be the proxy for Baltimore. If Jack S. wanted to do that, I know he has a walk the mock and he's got a co-GM in Bob Brown. If you have a co-GM, only one of you can spectate, but one of you has to hit the button. There's no way to split that off. So you guys talk, you can expound on the Discord thing, however you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland is open. Satisfied Browns fan offered his walk the mock account if somebody wanted to draft for Cleveland. You've only got 2 picks. So, and they're both later. One's 54, one of them's in the 3rd round. The Saints are a committee. One of you's going to have to say, hey, I'll be the one that pushes the button, but they have a lot of GMs. The Rams are taken, the Seahawks are taken, the 49ers are taken. I think there are a couple teams still left, but I'm not positive of who they are.
Mm-hmm. Adam
and you never know, somebody
Adam
might
and
not
Vic,
show up.
Did Adam and Vic team up to get the Panthers?
That is the way that's going to go, but
Okay.
neither one of them has signed in yet.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so we're waiting on everybody to show up here. Again, here on the pre-draft show, the pre-radio show as well.
We should do this more often. It's fun to say wordy dirds on the radio.
Yeah,
or not on the radio.
Yeah, my only concern is going to be, can we shut it off and not slip up during the show?
Oh yeah,
or how close do we get? I don't really ever risk. I mean, I don't really ever worry about us actually doing it. It's how close do we get? How far in the word do I get before I go, oh, we're no longer safe?
I have found a great way for me to not do it, which is I've come up with radio safe ways to say things.
Indeed.
Like pooty poo is kitty cat behavior. That was one of my favorite ones from yesterday.
Yes. It took me a while to figure out what the hell you were talking about.
It did, and it made me laugh that Tank looked at me and went, what the hell is kitty cat behavior? And I went, were you a pussy?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
He's talking about we're throwing a baseball at somebody. That's kitty cat behavior. And I'm going, kitty cats don't have thumbs. They can't throw. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yep. And that was when I went, not the brightest bulb in the lamp, are you?
No, sir. No, sir, I'm not. Okay? And you confuse me on purpose sometimes, and it pisses me off.
I don't confuse you on purpose. It just so happens to be sometimes I use big words.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't understand the big words.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Glenn F. asked who got the Commanders. As of right now, nobody. I
Holt didn't get in?
I think Holt told me earlier that he was working and so he'd be able to watch, but not necessarily
Excuse me.
commit.
Mm-hmm.
I have a document here. I could tell you who claimed them. Yeah, it would make sense. And up until this point, we're actually doing a really good job of people claiming the teams that they claimed over the course of the week.
Yes. Let's see here.
We had Rob Johnson penciled into the Commanders.
Okay.
Whatever
That makes perfect sense.
that means. I don't know that I ever heard him say that he wanted the Commanders, but I think somebody said, maybe did.
I think he did, and you responded to him, I'll pencil you in. I believe that's how that went down in the chat yesterday. Of course, you know me in the chat.
It is super hard to keep my train of thought and stay in the chat and be dictating things like that. So if I boo-booed one, I apologize.
Yes. Beebe or Barton, best guard in the draft?
Barton. Not
Barton.
close. He's not the best guard. Talise Fuaga is the best guard. Now, Fuaga could end up playing tackle, but so could Barton.
Are you sure it's not Troy Fautano?
It is not Troy Fautano. He's another one of those landmines.
Troy Fautano.
Can somebody explain to me what he did that is like, oh, he's so good? Are you sure? I mean, he's fine.
He's a BDD.
So am I.
Mm-hmm.
You going to draft me?
Well, I mean,
I hate to go meet the Fockers here, but I got nipples too, Greg. You going to milk me?
Well, I mean,
I'm a big damn dude too. You want to play me guard?
Have that age thing on you, and the ability to play tackle at a high level.
I am still nimble.
Yeah, sure you are.
If Ric Flair can still wrestle, I can still do athletic things.
Woof.
And
Is he still doing that?
Probably.
No.
I'm on a hell of a wrestling kicker lately. Tank
Which
and I
is
started
weird.
talking about the Bleacher Report top 50 wrestlers thing and just getting pissed off.
It's just
Then we about got into a literal fist fight over Bret the Hitman Hart because that dude had
doesn't
one
get it.
catchphrase and nothing else. And
because he just doesn't get it.
yeah, he's not top 10.
Stop.
He's not.
Stop.
He's not.
That guy's.
Neither is Bruno Sammartino.
It's one of those things that I want to respect the game, right? Like when we talk about the greatest athletes of all time, and you want to respect the game, but you can't have Babe Ruth at one.
No,
because that guy wasn't athletic.
Nope. He was hitting dingers off plumbers.
Yeah, and you
Which,
never,
oddly
and you
enough,
never
so was
touched
Mike's
plumbers'
wife.
dingers.
Let's go! Let's go! He got to it before I did. Yes! Yes!
Never touch a plumber's dinger. He don't like that. And if he does, then you need to make sure he leaves your house. I've just seen too many serial killer movies in the last couple of days.
All right, so you should stop doing that. I felt a steady pull of diarrhea form under me as you said that.
What, serial killer movies?
Yeah, you've been watching too many serial killer movies, and you don't have a fear of blood like I do. You could just go crazy.
Nah. I'm yee. I don't like stuff on my hands. I don't even really like eating greasy chicken all that much. I'm really sure blood's not gonna make me feel all warm and fuzzy.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever heard a fucking lie, that is what a lie sounds like.
No.
Not he couldn't kill somebody. He doesn't like eating greasy chicken.
I mean, I love eating the greasy chicken. I don't like it on my hands. That's the point. If you ever see me near a greasy piece of food, there's a guarantee that I've got. How many stacks of napkins do I have sitting there? I got
We
one,
have a lot.
2, 3, 4. I got 4 stacks of napkins within my reach, just in case something gets on my hands.
All right, Andreas Pinckney, I believe is who that is, has gotten in with the Saints.
Okay.
So I will say at 12 o'clock, we will open up any team that is not claimed.
Yes.
Because we'll have 10 minutes, and it's going to start at 12:10.
Mm-hmm.
I gave us 10 minutes of falafel around time.
I like it. We got a great representative group.
Oh, no doubt.
I feel proud that we've filled this many slots. If we can fill them all, I feel like we'll have achieved something.
Oh, if we fill them all, I will be ecstatic. If we fill them all, I will.
So anybody that
just so because we've done things like this so many times, I don't know we've ever filled
no. I mean, we've done 12-team fantasy mock drafts before that had to have a computer person in it, at least one. So we're doing good. We're doing good. If you know anybody, go shout them out. Say, hey, you need to jump into this thing. Tank would be that weirdo with gloves eating chicken. No, I will not do that. I will use all of the napkins, but I will not be eating food with gloves on. That's disgusting. Ew. Especially like those medical gloves that got the white powder on the outside. That's not powdered sugar. You shouldn't lick that off your fingers.
No, sir. No, sir, you should not. No, sir, you should not.
I mean, if I was working in a kitchen, I guess I would, rubber gloves. Sometimes that's called for. But anyhow, Kelvin Joyner says he understands. He says he goes through more napkins than for calories every meal. Yeah.
Kurt offering to unclaim the Dolphins so Danny Fence-Fan can't. I think he wants to be involved in it is beautiful how we all just get along.
Just share and share alike.
I believe Danny Fence-Fan said that he was not able to fully commit, so I think we're okay there, but I'll let him speak for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Grayson asked why I don't think Kamari Lassiter is considered one of the best corners in the class. It's all about speed. He ran stupidly slow. And people still talk about him in the top 50. I think he still goes in the top 50.
Mm-hmm.
And he may be a great value. It's just not. I don't love it. I like his tape, but I've seen a lot of corners like him coming to the NFL and just not be able to keep up.
Yeah.
He's scheme specific. That's
what scheme?
You put him in a scheme where I don't have to one-on-one run with guys because Tyreek Hill would eat his lunchbox. And that's the fear, is that wide receivers are getting faster, and it becomes if you play a lot of man, then that becomes a problem because you're having to play so far off.
Kind of like a zone-heavy scheme.
Yeah.
For a team that might have a hole in it.
Yeah.
You know,
I would like him better.
Somewhere at the end of the first
He's the guy
round,
that
maybe.
I would really like him with your Bucks. I think
That's
he
where I
could
was
play
going
in that
with
off scheme the way that and I think he'd be just fine there.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. That 26 spot looks like it could be a good one for Kamari Lassiter. I don't know that we've brought him in, but all I know about him being a Georgia fan, I feel like that's a guy Todd Bowles would like to play with. Not like that. Gosh, why do you have to make everything weird?
Mount Moriah Church. We have a church. We have a pastor. We have a church. Is that Adam Black?
Oh, could be.
Is Mount Moriah Adam Black, or do we actually have multiple churches that are Panther fans? I'm going to need an answer to that.
It says we are Panther fans, so maybe.
Matt's in as the Denver Broncos, so we're getting closer here. We got 22 minutes and 20 seconds until this bad boy kicks off. We got a shot to fill this thing, folks.
Yes, indeed. Fire away your draft questions if you have them. We will be addressing those all throughout the show this afternoon. We are, once again, this is the pregame show, the pre-mock show.
Yes.
Are we moving to a new stream?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a separate, so everybody will transition over to the new one?
The YouTube algorithm now really wants you to do things at the same time, on the same days. And obviously, with the Braves preempting us, it's really important that we have those at 12 o'clock as often as we can.
We gotcha.
You also get to double up views. So, yeah, we're trying to game the system a little bit. Hey, you know what? We're trying to hit 1 million views today because we're this close, and there's a possibility that today's going to be that day.
1 million?
1 million views.
I like that.
I mean, it took us forever, but
hey,
millions.
You know what? That's right. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. Millions a million. It's a whole bunch of eyeballs. It's 2 million eyeballs. See, I can do math. I went to Buncombe County schools.
Math is math.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Kelvin Joyner asked, who's the best blocking tight end in this draft? John Carmen said it's Raymond. I'm inclined to agree with you.
Never even heard of Raymond.
I always fuck up his first name. Tip Raymond. I always want to call him Kip because I've never seen a person named Tip. Mm-hmm. He's a kid out of Illinois. I tend to agree that he's probably the best block. None of them are great. Let me put it that way. But the blocking tight end's kind of become the thing of the past.
Well, I mean, it still serves a purpose. It's just...
Oh, yeah, you have a guy, and you should draft him in the 7th round.
No doubt. Right next to your long snapper.
Yep. About in the same boat.
Or your kicker. But Jeremy says don't draft kickers.
Yeah, don't ever draft a kicker. It's a bad idea. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Morris Chestrock asked, what defensive tackle should the Texans look to target, 42 or 59? Evan Doyle said Michael Hall Jr. I tend to agree. I don't know what happened to that guy. Everybody loved Michael Hall when I was at the Senior Bowl, and then he just floated away in the thin air. And now nobody talks about him ever. Mm-hmm. I thought he killed a guy for a while. He did not. He did not.
I mean,
I checked.
I would hope not. Jeez.
But that would be one of my answers. Chris Jenkins would be another one that I really, really like. This is a deep defensive tackle class. Mm-hmm. I'm not as in love with the high side. I love Byron Murphy. I really like Jerzon Newton. You know how I feel about Devondre Sweat. And then you get into kind of there's a lot of dudes here that I think play a role in the NFL. So, there's that.
Mm-hmm. NFL draft is at the end of this month. Do we have a plan, or do you have a plan in your head, Flostradamus, for the release of your final rankings and all of that? The kind of the path forward here as we get closer.
What's that phrase that you use of drinking from a fire hose?
Yep,
that starts Monday. There's going to be a shitload of draft content, and we're good. here's what we've learned over the course of the last few years. Putting out 11-team mock drafts, yes, you can get a lot of viewers and things like that. It also it kind of clouds things as you move along, and you get a lot of people that go, "You're stupid," because they don't look at when you released it. So I will do a 3-round mock draft. The week of the draft, I will be putting out 7-round mock drafts for every team. Simplifies things, and I don't have to listen to misspelled death threats, which is awesome. Evan Doyle said he's drunk on Tavondre Sweat, and he's waiting on me to tell him why that's dumb. I'm not gonna.
He's not gonna. No.
The only person on this planet that's drunker on Tavondre Sweat than me is my father. I thought he was going to follow him home. I mean, hell, Dad went with me to the Senior Bowl. I thought he was going to follow Tavondre Sweat home. Like, you're coming to New York, and this is just the way this is going to go. Okay?
Yep.
So, no, I don't think it's them at all. I love him. We'll be switching streams in about 2.5 minutes, and we'll get everybody. So that will get the normal alert that everybody gets for the show. We'll give a few minutes for the guys that maybe didn't see this or whatever the case may be. Then we'll open up every team. It'll be a complete free-for-all for 10 minutes. Tyson Carter asked, how do we make trades? There is a Discord link in the chat. You can discuss them there, and you can accept them before. I don't know how that works. We'll figure it out together.
All right. It is getting to be about that time. Are we, you said we'll be switching over in about 2 minutes over to the new stream.
Yes, so if somebody wants
to set things up here for the radio program.
Yes. Did you already do the log?
Yes, the log's all fixed.
Look at that.
We're all rocking and raring to go.
Today proves that with teamwork, we can indeed actually do a cohesive show.
Yes.
Where things are done before 13 seconds before they're supposed to happen.
That's right. All you have to do is tell me that we're going on an hour earlier, and I won't have time to do those things during that hour.
So moving forward, we'll be going on an hour earlier. That's just not going to be something that any of you can watch every day.
Yes. Indeed.
Although it will be a thing you can watch some days.
So go ahead and get in now. If you are not already, follow the links in the YouTube description or the chat box here.
And as soon as I kill this stream, this stream will become the new one.
Yes.
And all that you're going to see change. Malik Neighbors will go away. JJ McCarthy will show up, and pre-show will disappear, and listener mock will become there.
Yes, the all listener mock here still have teams available for the Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, Houston Texans. That's yours, isn't it?
I'm the Bills.
Oh, I thought you took the Texans.
Nope.
Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans, Kansas City Chiefs, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, New York Giants, Carolina Panthers, St. Louis Rams.
Nope, L.A. Rams.
Nope, St. Louis Rams, the Seattle Seahawks,
and the San Francisco 49ers.
and the San Diego Niners.
And we have guys that are on a few of those teams. So we'll open it all up as soon as we start the ESPN show. So you'll have roughly 6 more minutes to claim your team, and then we'll go free for all with the last handful of teams that are left.
Just under 15 minutes to the draft. We shall leave you now. Switch over to